They need Biden to leave because he's old. Okay, that's what they need. They need the country to look around at Joe Biden wandering out in the middle of a ceremony, at Joe Biden announcing that he cured cancer, or God save the Queen, or he's talking to a dead person who's no longer with us, or he's shaking hands with an invisible person. They need the public to see that and go,
that man belongs in a nursing home, not in the White House.
It's like when Andrew Cuomo, my former governor, got Me Too'd, Handsy Andy Cuomo.
Andy!
They did not want him to get thrown out of office because he was committing eldercide during COVID by forcing infected coronavirus patients to live in nursing homes. He was doing that.
It's people with a dirty mind that think like that.
Sure is. But in the name of political power, the media was giving him a free pass. They were building him up at every turn and going, Cuomo, what a great leader. Why can't Trump be more like Cuomo? You know, we'd be doing a lot better with COVID if Trump was more like Cuomo. Okay, and that's what they were doing. Okay, they were praising him to the moon and back.
New York's Andrew Cuomo has become an outspoken voice in this crisis with his blunt and sobering assessments.
You were there for us, and I go, oh, you're smart and you were honest.
You exposed a lot of your own vulnerabilities.
A very buzzed about topic about you is your love life.
You've been commended for your clear and your calm leadership.
Congratulations, Andrew, on your much-deserved Founders Award.
You and your brother Chris tied as the most desirable men in New York.
Is it true that this was the swab that the nurse was actually using? In scale, this was the actual swab that was being used.
That was going to be nice and sweet.
I just want a yes, no.
That was absolutely dreadful.
Do you understand? Okay, that's the media building up Cuomo. That's his brother Chris Cuomo, joking with him about big Q-tip sizes and mom liked you better and all that jazz. And why were they doing it? They were building up Cuomo as a means of tearing down Trump. Now, the entire montage you listened to took place after Cuomo had signed an executive order forcing nursing homes, the most vulnerable segment of the population to COVID, forcing them to take in infected coronavirus patients. And in the process of forcing them, he gave them legal and civil immunity. Now, listen to me. Okay, you do not give someone legal and civil immunity unless what you're asking them to do is illegal.
Bingo.
So everyone knows that. Everyone in the media knows that. Everyone in the Cuomo administration knows that. But it goes a step further. So we get this exploding rate of nursing home deaths in New York. And what does Cuomo do? His own top aide, Melissa DeRosa, testifies to the fact that they were falsifying the nursing home deaths because he wanted to write a self-congratulatory book about how he handled COVID. And he did. He wrote a book that summer when he was popular in the middle of the pandemic. Okay, this jackass, if you think of it as football, dumped the Gatorade on himself at halftime of a game he wasn't even winning.
What an idiot.
He's not an idiot. Okay, he's a clown. He's a grifter. Okay, but when Cuomo's own top aides flipped on him and said, by the way, you know, all those nursing home people he killed, he lied about that to pad his book advance. And yeah, a lot of people did die in nursing homes. He said it was 5,000. It turns out it was about 15. The media was looking out at that and being like, oh, they knew Cuomo needed to go, but they didn't want him to go for that because they were complicit in that. So they got Cuomo out of office on a trumped-up Me Too charge because, as it turns out, you know, one of the most buzzed things in the media was his love life. Turns out it was pretty buzzed about behind closed doors with the female staffers.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
And so there went Handsy Andy Cuomo.
Andy! Andy!
But not for the bad thing he did, for the other thing. You understand? Like, the bad thing Joe Biden did is not being old. The bad thing Joe Biden did was selling influence through his son.
Correctamundo.
The media can't have him leave for selling influence through his son because it means they were complicit in covering up that scheme, and it means we have to openly admit as a planet that they did Donald Trump dirty, okay? They can't have that. So you understand the reason they're rumbling about the age thing. And God, you got to know this, man. It's fascinating, okay? I am like, you know, Donnie Brasco, the guy who infiltrates the mafia and goes undercover. I am Jimmy Brasco, okay? From time to time, I get on the show and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I was at some high-end media party last night. Well, this is crazy. I was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I'm working the red carpet. This is nuts. And I always tell you when I go there, okay, because I am an expert on human nature. I'm not an expert on politics. I did not go to school for this. Political science, nothing, okay? I know Weird Science, the movie, okay? They create the hot chick and try to sleep with her.
Oh, yes, I've read about that in the Bible.
Okay, but understand, I watch human nature. I watch these people. I get to see how this works. And I always faithfully report back to you on what I see. The Democratic Party, okay, their surrogates are not Democratic politicians. Their surrogates are the media themselves. Okay, most Democratic politicians can't make a good case, okay, because some of them, if knowledge is a fountain, the fountain is dry in the case of, say, AOC.
AOC is a dope.
Okay, they're not going to put Nancy Pelosi on TV to make the case because she's in her late hundreds. She's a doddering fool.
Nancy Pelosi is a total dingbat.
Totally, but you don't see him trotting out Chuck Schumer unless it's the middle of the day and he's whining about Trump outside the Senate.
Chuck Schumer is a clown.
Totally. So what they do is they use the media as their surrogates. It's the mafia. Okay, the media are the hitmen for the Democratic Party. And they'll send a missive out to the media. Hey, you got to go take care of that thing. You know that guy we talked about? We did all we could. Okay, that's where we are with Biden. The reason the media is amping up he's too old. How old is he? The other day, Jill said, come upstairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. Okay, that's what's going on right now. They're trying to whack him for his age so we get him out of town before we get to the bottom of this impeachment thing. That's why they're screaming about the impeachment. They know there's evidence there. Obama's Treasury Department flagged their business dealings on 150 occasions. Obama, not Trump. Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president for 8 years.
I don't remember that ever happening.
But it did. Okay, and Barack Obama's own Treasury Department on 155 occasions filed an SAS, a suspicious activity report. Okay, we have Hunter Biden's business partner, Devin Archer, saying Joe Biden was the brand. This is how Hunter got money. We have Tony Bobulinski, Hunter's other business partner, publicly putting his name on the fact that Biden was getting 10% of the money. We have 2 IRS whistleblowers who have come forward and testified under oath that the Bidens were selling influence in our government. They know that's evidence. Okay, they impeached Trump over actually nothing, over a story Hillary Clinton made up to create a counter-narrative to her private email server, and they knew it at the time they did it because we found that out in the Durham probe.
That's just how white folks will do you.
So they know they impeached Trump, they held him hostage over Russia for nothing. They know Biden is being impeached because it's very substantive. But they also know that as badly as they need Biden to go, they don't need him to go this way. Okay? It's Cuomo 2.0. They've got a guy who was a useful idiot. They desperately need to get rid of him. But they don't need to get rid of him for the bad stuff he did. They need to get rid of him for the bad stuff they did.
Tell them like it is.
Okay, and that's where we find ourselves.